All right, y'all. So thank you so much for coming out. So I want to hear a big round of applause for the Billy Goats and the Chi-Town Red Hots who played earlier. That was some awesome stuff. So this is the senior show, and I'm going to bring them up to rock it in a minute, but I just want to explain to everybody what this is. We started this last year, and actually there were some folks from the inaugural senior show here today, which is awesome to see. Because we love it when the kids come back to say hi and to rock out. And so we got together, the kids picked the songs. They, I helped them cast the songs. And we had like 3.5 rehearsals, basically. So there's always less rehearsals than you think there's gonna be. And yeah, these guys are like 3.5, man, you guys have it easy. And so they're going to jam some tunes that they decided to do for their own reasons. And then I'm going to come up a little ways through and say some words about these wonderful people who will be leaving us, and embarrass them as much as I possibly can. Yep. And then they're gonna finish it off with some a killer performance on instruments that they've never played before in their lives. It's gonna be fun, so stick around. Hope you guys make it through to the end and hang here with us and jam. All right, seniors, give it up for the seniors. Come on up.
So this next one is by one of my very favorite bands ever. They're the Revivalists, yes. They're so great. If you haven't listened to them, please do. It's life-changing. All right, but this one is called All in the Family, and the school's my family, and so, the chorus of the song, we're all just one big family, so that's why I chose this one. Are you happy with the plans you're making? Are you satisfied with who you are? That song could be promise free. If you wanna roll the dice and play some cards with me, you better jump in line, baby, while the bets are free. Cause ain't no pretty boy ever changing me. I got a close out paper, lose my gas, and all I ever had to do was pass the test. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We've got the feeling in our bones. We're all just one big family now. We've got the feeling in our bones. We're all just one big family now. All in the family now. Are you happy with the curtains you're making? Are you satisfied with who you are? Did you create your world around you? Or did you let them have your feelings? Are you happy with the plans you're making? Are you satisfied with who you are? Did you create your world around you? Or did you let them have your feelings far? Are you happy with the plans you're making? Are you satisfied with who you are? Did you create your world around you? Or did you let them have your feelings far? We've got the feeling in our bones. We're all just one big family now. We've got the feeling in our bones. We're all just one big family now. We've got the feeling in our bones. We're all just one big family now. We've got the feeling in our bones. We're all just one big family now. Oh, in the family now.
let's see real quick. Where's Judah at? Where's Judah? Judah Sweet? Judah. I'm talking to you, man. So, Judah will remember this song specifically because this song is from my very first show. Oh, you know this show. My very first show here at Soul Rock, Chicago, was the Neil Young show, directed by our very own Andy Levenberg. So how could I not pick a song from that show? You'll recognize this one, I guarantee you. I got caught up in the moment, I'm sorry.
Nobody knows why I'm here because I've only been here for a year, but I am a senior, so I am in this show, and these people are really cool. So I chose a couple of 80s songs tonight because I am an 80s fan, and this is Holy Commotion by the Pretenders. everyone. So, this is the song that I chose. This is called Rainy Day Women, number 12 and 35. And it's by Bob Dylan. It's on the album. It's on the album Blonde on Blonde. And I just want to clear some things up. When you hear me sing the lyrics of the song, just know that I mean in like the biblical sense. And you'll know what I mean if you don't know the song. That's all. My favorite Beatle, George Harrison. Yeah, so I've only been with School of Rock for about, I want to say like a little over a year and a half now, but honestly feels like a lot longer though, and I've made so many great friends through this program. It's just been like a really amazing experience. So thank you guys. Shout out to Cheyenne. Is this on? Is this on? Thank you.
song, to say the least. Meredith's choice, by the way. Miss Meredith. All right, thank you. Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile, but then you're so smart. Tell me why are you still so afraid? Where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it up before you burn it out. You got so much to do and only so many hours in the day. But you know that when the truth is told, that you can get what you want or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. When will you realize the piano waits for you? Slow down, you're doing fine. You can be everything you wanna be before your time. Although borderline tonight. Get what you want and you can just get it You got your passion, you got your pride. Don't you know that only fools are satisfied? Dream on, but don't imagine they'll all come true. When will you realize piano waits for you? Slow down, you crazy child. Take the phone off the book and disappear for a while. You can afford to lose a day or two. When will you realize piano waits for you? You know that when the truth is told, that you can get what you want or you can just get old. Gotta kick off before you even get halfway through. Why don't you realize piano waits for you? When will you realize piano waits for you?
All right, give it up for the seniors. Where are you going? Where are you going? Get up here. Get up here. Show's not over. Get up here. All right. All right, so going to talk about all these wonderful human beings up here. So I do want to give one shout out before the massacre begins to Shreya Daniel, who is a senior too. Shreya was I think Bob Dylan was her first show. Am I right about that? Yes. Yep. Okay. And Shreya was not at the school very long, but she made an impact, I would say, in her time there. She was a fun person to be around and a fantastic singer. Average guitar player. But, but she learned her songs. My favorite Shreya moment was probably her first show team gig. Actually, let me talk about Bob Dylan before that, because I didn't know Shreya from anyone. And you must have known her before she joined? You went to middle school together, so, oh, high school. So first Bob Dylan rehearsal, they're like, Akasha and Shreya come up and they're like, we have a duet that we want to do in the Bob Dylan show. And it was the Adele version of Make You Feel My Love. And I was like, I don't really take requests, kids. But then I was like, whoa, Shreya can sing. And I knew this one could sing, so I was like, maybe. And then we did it, and they ran it in rehearsal, and it was just like goosebumps. It was like, thank God you guys brought that up, because I never would have thought of that. Because I don't listen to music that was made after 1974. But anyways, but my favorite Shreya moment was her first show team gig, which was at some elementary school. Yan Elementary School, in the auditorium with all these little kids running around, and she had like broken her foot or something, and she had this giant boot on, and we played Hellion Electric Eye by Judas Priest for the very young children at this elementary school, and she was just like rocking it on one foot with this, because she couldn't put any weight on her cast, so she wasn't moving around, and she was just like slamming it with her cast on. Anyways, that was a good time, yeah. So, anyways, Shreya, she is, I think, at college already. I think camp was before, I think, right? She is at camp. Oh yeah, that's right, college was before the folk rock show. And her like orientation. So she's at camp, so she couldn't do the senior show, but everybody give it up for Shreya. All right, so I go in order of how long they have been at the school, reverse order of how long they've been at the school. So we had some heated discussions at rehearsal. We spent like half the time rehearsing and half the time arguing about who signed up to School of Rock first. I wound up, I go back and check who showed up in my email first. Whose name showed up in my email first? And we almost had a tie this year, almost. But anyways, we'll get to that. Because the first one's easy. We have Isa, where are you hiding? There you are. Isabel Paiza, everybody. So like she was saying, before she killed that Pretender song, she was not at School of Rock very long. One show, Motown. Although, yeah, that was killer. Although Isa was rumored to be at School of Rock for a bunch of shows before that. In fact, I think Ryan and I have done more administrative work per show season for you than anybody else in the school. It was like, yeah, there's this girl Isabel joining. She's going to be in this show, and then we'll put you in this show, and then like it'll be like, oh, she's not joining. Okay, wait, let's circle back with it. So it took a while. But I'm glad that you made the plunge in Motown. Ryan O'Toole was telling me he was similarly, kind of mystified. Anytime there's a new name on the cast list, you're not sure exactly what you're going to get. And then at the first rehearsal, you sang Heat Wave. He said that him and Keith just looked at each other like, whoa, we got one here. This is going to work out just fine. I wish you had found us sooner, because you could sing. If you'd done a couple more seasons, you might not have forgotten the lyrics on that last tune that you sang. But it's an experience thing, we have to grow into it. I told you guys this wasn't gonna be easy. All right. So I just recently met Issa, but she would come if you've ever come to the school like in the early afternoon. I'm usually at the upstairs desk, like trying to ignore reality and doing like computer work, which is I like this part of the job much better. So if you ever come up and I ignore you or I'm in a bad mood, it's not that I don't like you. It's just that I'm doing the part of the job that I don't like as much. But so Issa would come up, and this was before I met you, but we had like met a bunch of times because like I had like grunted hello to you as you went past into your lesson, and I just assumed that you were like some kind of adult student who I had never met. And then Motown, I saw you on stage in that like silver outfit and just like, bam, just killing it, and it was like, wow. So why don't you tell everybody where you're going to school? What are your plans for?
I'm going to Goucher College in Baltimore.
What are you going to study?
Double major in English creative writing and peace studies.
Wow. I do think you're gonna hear that I believe that this is like probably the highest ACT scores ever assembled on Corporate Lounge's stage. Anyways, Isabel Paiza, everybody, give it up for her. Great. We're gonna miss you. All right. Now we have Meredith come over here. Meredith Ehlers, everybody. Meredith is very nervous right now, but that's normal. I taught your trial lesson. You remember that? I taught your trial lesson. Yeah. She was nervous then, too. It was like, it's cool. We're just going to learn some stuff. And I've taught you a few lessons, here and there, scheduling permitting, and we've usually had fun. Meredith came in, you were a total beginner, or you knew a couple chords? You were a total beginner. I taught you a trial lesson. It's like 101, recommendation 101. But Meredith has, quickly, a year and a half, huh? Quick. Yeah. What was your first show? Indie Rock. That was not that long ago. You were in 101 a while, huh? Just messing with you. Meredith, trying to get her to play lead guitar. Every lesson I would have with her, it was like, you can play lead guitar. This is the pentatonic scale. Just go for it. Why are you apologizing? Stop apologizing. But there's a couple there's kids you encounter sometimes who apologize for apologizing sometimes. You're like, stop apologizing. They're like, sorry. It's like, no. So I have little chicken scratch notes that I wrote on the ride over here in the U-Haul. But we would say, I would always tell her, you're going to have to play lead someday. You can't just sing and play rhythm guitar. You have to attack this thing. And you taking that solo in the Bowie show, A Man Who Sold the World, was a proud moment. And I actually had the lesson before the show with you because of a reschedule. And she was like, I'm so nervous. I was like, I know, just do it. You got it. We ran it 15 times in a row. And then right before you went on, it was like, you got this. And you did. It was fine. It was great. But my favorite Meredith moment, it was White Rabbit in the Summer of Love show. I remember the first rehearsal, you singing it, and your pitch was great, but you were just so quiet. And I was like, no, you got to wail. The end of the song, you got to wail. And throughout the season, it got louder and louder and louder. And yeah, just to see you grow as a musician has been awesome. Um, you knew some people when you signed up at School Rock, yeah. So you just came right in but your harmony singing has gotten amazing. Summerfest, that was. And Meredith got to come together at the final event at Summerfest. And even though the girls singing, Meredith was playing guitar, the girls singing forgot the lyrics, but Meredith knew them. We knew she did. Because of all the time she had to spend in Rock 101. Anyways, where are you going to school? Denison University. You can talk in that one while we talk. Don't apologize. What are you going to study?
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna go to Denison University next year. That's awesome.
What are you going to study?
Oh, wrong question. Oh, psychology and philosophy.
Cool. Awesome. So, wasn't too bad, right? Everybody give it up for Meredith Ayles. We're going to miss you. We're going to miss you. Your turn. All right. People don't know. She's more nervous playing the drums than she is right now. Earlier I was like, are you ready for the roast? She was like, that's my break. I'm cool with the roast. But, you guys don't know this, but we have a celebrity on the stage. She's by far the most famous person on the stage. That's a feature-length film. Yeah. You'll have to ask Meredith about it after. See, look at how many new friends I just made you. So, since then, Meredith has become a hermit. She joined School of Rock many years ago, but a lot of you might not know her because she never does shows. She just plugs away in the lesson room with Keith. She did Live Aid, was your first show. Do you remember what Live Aid day you were on? Of course, Alexis knows. But we'll get to you. Live Aid Monday, which was a fun time. What was it about performing that you didn't like? The whole thing? Yeah, the whole being on stage thing. At rehearsal, I was like, man, you're a really good drummer. We could have used you all these years. And she was like, being on stage isn't really my thing. And I was like, eating vegetables aren't really my thing, but I do it sometimes. But Meredith is cool. I didn't really know her too well before this. She comes in. I'd seen you a few times around, but didn't really know her. But she's a sport, and she can drum. Dang. That was the thing that surprised me the most. You know, we had all these talented kids up here. We were like, we need a drummer for this show. And everybody was like, we'll get Meredith. And like half of them were like, good luck. But she did it. And yeah, and she's super fun. So, what are you doing after this? USC. I see. USC. What are you going to study?
Business.
Studying business. You don't have to be on stage much in business, but you do have to be good at public speaking. It's okay. She's going to sing a song in a little bit. All right, you can go. Meredith Droger, everybody. Okay, so I have to stop for a second. This is where we had the trouble figuring out what was what over the last couple weeks. So we have twins, but Akasha's 12 minutes older. But Matriana started School of Rock like 6 months earlier. So in School of Rock time, this one goes last. So and then, but it was actually like a kind of triple weirdness to work through because Leah's first mention in my email was one day after Matriana's first day. So it was that close. So really, even though we have two twins up here that are going to be separated by a little bit in my rose, but I have to talk about both of you together for a little bit as one entity. Because for a little while I couldn't tell you apart. Actually, a little longer than a little while. It was like a couple months, and but I always knew them as like the sisters who were go-getters when you both got out of Rock 101, or you got out of Rock 101 first, right? Yeah, you were already in a show, and she was in 101. But I remember you guys being young and in shows and like up and comers. You know, you get on the radar a little bit, and it was like, man, they're good. I wish I could tell them apart. And then when you were playing your instruments, it was like, oh, that's easy. And then thankfully, right, it became very easy. Actually, I have one funny story before that. So we were at a show team gig, and Matriana hadn't made show team yet, but Akasha had, and it was their first gig, and it was that one for the guitar, for the fundraiser for the yeah. No, it was for Allie's Allies. Yes, thank you. And Akasha's like first vocal song that she would sing in show team was coming up, and I turn around backstage and I'm like, "Are you ready? You ready for this?" And the person I'm talking to looks up and says, "I'm Matriana." Akasha was already on stage playing keyboards. I missed my moment. But then it became really easy to tell them apart because Matriana got red hair and Akasha had a British boy following her around everywhere. Okay, I'm just gonna go home now. My work is done. But every time I hang out with Matriana, I think about, see what I'm talking about? Sorry. Better. I've done worse up here, right? I've done worse. Every time I hang out with Akasha, I can't help think about dragonflies in the sun, you know how I feel. You know, I just found out this morning that song was the song that they've been rehearsing for like this whole time. She always sound checks with it, and yesterday I was like, I wish I could hear that song someday. And, you know, when it comes on in that moment I hear it, I'm going to be like, that's that song. And then, of course, they've been playing it at rehearsal for like 3 weeks. Yeah. Akasha has been a joy to have around the school. Helps out in 101 all the time. Not as much recently. We got to talk about that. No, just kidding. Just kidding, you've done your work. I think that she has played Creep more times than Radiohead. I looked it up. They played it 395 times. So how many years did you do Rock 101? Like 2-some years? No, like volunteer. A year? 52 weeks, 2 sessions, 100. You're up there. You should have been logging it on setlist.fm. You could have been ahead of Radiohead. And just, she is like one of the most positive people I know, Akasha. She's always in a good mood, as far as, from what I see. And she's fun to make fun, or she's fun to like mess with. One of my favorite things is when Akasha's loading gear and she puts it down. I'm like, no, not there. And every time she's just like, wait, what? I'm like, just kidding. She's like, oh. Anyways, fantastic keyboard player, fantastic vocalist, a blessing to the school to have been here for the past couple of years. What was your first show?
My first show was the punk show.
You're not much of a punker, though. No. But you learn.
I only played keys. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah? Good to know. Good to know. But you learn. That's what school rock's about. You try out punk rock. No, that's not really for me. Akasha just killed it in the Zappa show. She's so reliable. She just, like, you assign her something and she shows up and she's got it locked down. One of the friendliest. Sometimes, yeah, you're pretty funny. I'll give you a yes. Friendliest, funniest people, and everybody give it up. Akasha Gahara. Oh, where are you going to school? Oh wait, everyone knows already. No, go ahead.
University of Michigan, go blue.
They were all like, hey, we're gonna wear white, red, and black for the show, and she was like, but Michigan's colors are blue and gold. What are you gonna study?
Well, I got in for engineering, but that's probably gonna change.
Cool. World's gonna need some engineers like you. So everybody give it up one more time. Akasha Gahara. All right, you're up. Let's do it. Oh. Leah has an individual handshake process with every single student in the school. Different one. Custom. It's pretty amazing. So Leah joined us at the summer camp. What camp was it? Do you remember? You counseled it?
It was pop punk.
Pop punk? So my first real Leah on the map moment, and this is a common theme because I actually talked about this last year with you. My first Leah on the map moment was from Anthony Rubino, because he had a way of just coming up sometimes and being like, Leah Stevenson, check it out, just kind of coming up saying, hey, this kid's killing. And then we had the Pink Floyd show. Was that the first show of mine you were in? Tommy.
No, wait. My first show was Lamb, but my first show was Andy. Either Tommy or Pink.
Yeah, I think Tommy might have been first. Yeah. First show was Glam, though. Leah, I made her do the Bob Dylan show against her wishes. And was just like, just do me a favor. She was at the point where it was like I start asking favors from the kids. It's like they're in 101, and then Anthony Rubino's telling you about them, and then next thing you know, you're asking them to help you out. And then they're up here. It's mind blowing. I asked her to do the Bob Dylan show as a favor, and you were on like 13, 14 songs in that show, something like that. And just killing it. Highway 61, right on the stage. Living in forever on YouTube, thanks to Chris from Midwest Concert Video. Cool. So one of Leah's, actually you made Trip Team in the summer, was it your first time or was it the winter? With Akasha. I just remember the New Year's Eve gig when we're packing up. We played Navy Pier on New Year's Eve. And then we're packing up, and Leah's like, yo, Andy. I'm like, yeah. She's like, you gonna get teed tonight? I was like, what does that even mean? She's like, you know, you gonna get turned? I was like, I have no idea what you are talking about. I was like, hey Ryan, we have to keep an eye on this one. And then that first summer of Show Team, you were one of the 2 road dogs. You were the Road Dog Award has gone away. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it was a very short-lived thing that helped me out a lot. Now it's just like the standard. That was the play. It was like, all right, let's reward the first ones, and now everybody will come to every loadout. It was like if you whoever comes to the most loadouts was the road dog. And Alexis and Leah won it, and then they got to play Riot Fest because of that, so that was pretty cool. So we did Sabotage starting a few years ago with Claire, and then Emma Toms, yeah. And Leah has run with it, and you know, there's rarely a set where we don't close with that one. And we now have a system. Leah just gives me a look, and I'm either just like no or yeah, like right before the F-bomb, depending on the crowd. Actually, now you just know. Yeah, you understand. That's one thing. Leah understands very well the School of Rock thing, how it works, and what it's about, and just like what our priorities are, what needs to get done, and all that stuff. She now has just an intuitive understanding of it, and it's good because your dad bought you one. So you're gonna have to be running it someday. So this has all been just on-the-job training for you, but you've taken to it very well. And we appreciate that you have continued to go to this one because we would have missed you hardly. No problem. So, okay, so I think, the other thing is I promised that we made a truce for the, look at the finger thing that Leah always does, so we're not gonna do it up here. But I did get her one time at Lincoln Hall before Summerfest when they were on stage, like ready to start the song, and I announced them, and then I turned to Leah and was like, what's that? And she looked, and I was like, yes! So now the score is like 1,000,000-1, but it's the one that matters to me. So Ryan and I had a whole plan. We were gonna get you a present. He was gonna bring it up on stage, and then he was going to get you. But when I got you at Lincoln Hall, it was like, yeah, we don't have to do all that. I already did it. But okay, so where are you going to school?
UCLA.
And what are you, for now, planning to study?
Astrophysics.
So, you know, obviously a super smart kid, an amazing volleyball player too, if you didn't know. I only know that by reputation. My high school girls volleyball knowledge is not great, but I know that your team was good. And you know, Leah is like the fire starter at the school in a good way, not in an arsonist way. She's the money maker. Yeah, money. yeah, she is friends with everyone. There's very few kids at the school who are friends with everyone, and this is one of them. She just floats between social groups like dragonflies and this. She, but she is friends with everyone in the school and always positive, always in a good mood. Somehow, even at like those 9 o'clock in the morning load-ins, she rolls up and she's like, "Yo, all right, let's move this game." Elbows out. You know Leah's in a good mood when elbows are out. Just an amazing presence and a leader and a role model. You are a role model. What do you want to do now? So everybody give it up for Leah Stevenson. All right. So now we're over to the other Gahal. So, Matriana, I have one other really good story about Matriana, but I kind of already, my favorite story is the one where I asked you if you were ready, and you're like, "Oh, Matriana," just the terror in your eyes was like, I could go for years on one look like that. Matriana has been my guitar student for a long time now. Yeah, countless. But I wasn't your first guitar teacher at the school. So, did you come in as a beginner?
I was trained for like a year and a half.
Like you had a guitar for a year and a half? No, you made it out of 101 like fairly quickly, I think, right? And then stayed there helping out forever. Matriana, though, when you kind of came out of nowhere as like a major league guitar player in this school. It happened very, very under the radar, and all of a sudden it was like, wow, she could play. And I actually want to take a minute because I was about to say this girl can play, but that's not what this school is about, really. I mean, look at these seniors, right? We have 7 out of 8 of the seniors on the stage. Young women going out confidently into the world of music. And I think that's gonna be ultimately School of Rock's legacy. And I know Chris, we've talked about this. I know Chris agrees with me. That at School of Rock there are no like segmenting people into their roles. They just do. It's hard work, preparation, motivation, and inspiration, really. And Matriana has emerged as one of the school's best guitar players. Period. And watching her play is really fun because she kind of has this hunched over thing that she does where she's like, you don't know if she's about to fall off the stage or if she like just had a hernia or exactly what happened. I'm always like, oh yeah, that's stage presence. Thank you. And her guitar has like the hottest pickups of any electric guitar that I've ever heard. That is a nightmare for sound people. I know Cheyenne is like, she has like nightmares about that like black Les Paul with the one pickup, right? Yeah, one pickup. No off button. It's just on all the time. Man, I didn't talk about All Stars real quick, but Akasha and Leah and Matriana and Alexis all made All Stars this year as seniors. They're gonna get to go on tour. I always root for the kids. I'm one of the judges in the process, but I'm not allowed to say anything about Chicago students. I just have to sit there and watch the other judges deliberate. And and like sometimes just like squeeze my like water bottle under the table, like, ugh. But this was, it was well earned, and the Chicago kind of has a reputation now for sending guitar players out and all stars, and so we're proud of you. I'm proud of you because I'm your teacher. Yeah. What else? Where are you going to school?
I'm going to NYU.
What are you going to study?
I'm studying music technology.
Music technology. So why don't you ever like come over and give me a break at the PA on show team gigs? Yeah. Do you guys know the camper story? This just happened like a couple days ago. But Matt Giano was being a counselor at summer camp, and on the last day, Akasha came in, and the campers were like, "It's Matt Giano too." And then she tried to explain, and then the one wisecracking little kid in the camp was like, "She's Blonde Triana." But anyways, I still have, sometimes like if the light's right, I can still see Matriana red, Akasha green that I wrote on my hand like 2 years ago. Okay, so my favorite Matriana story is like one of her first show team gigs. She was loading in, and I'm in the basement like setting stuff up, and I hear coming down the stairs into the basement. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And then this Fender amp right here comes slamming into the basement door. Bang! And she's like, and Matriana is not easily phased. I try to mess with her sometimes, and she just like gives me like you're being stupid look. But she was phased. She was like shaking and like terrified that I was like gonna kick you out of show team maybe or something. I was like, it's fine, it'll work. These things are built like tanks. And meanwhile, I was like, this girl better not have broken this amp. But I plugged it in and I was like, get your guitar. We plugged it in and I was like, yeah, it's fine. So, have you ever apologized to the amp? It's treated you so well over the years. Anyways, a very friendly, little more chill than her sister, and they both bring their own energy to the school. Having taught you in the lesson room for years, I don't play favorites, but you're one of my favorite people. And I'm going to miss you terribly. Matriana Gahal, everybody. All right, 2 more. Let me see how we're doing on time. Oh, we're fine. Okay. Now we had a little bit of controversy in the first class about who would be last here, but yeah, I'm drifting this way, but you guys should be drifting center. That's what should happen. You gotta be center stage. So, Alexis Walters, everybody. You don't have my speech written already?
Hey. I have letters for every single person on show team, all the teachers. Some of them are like 20 pages long, so get ready, guys.
I kind of assumed you would write my roast of you so that I could just read it and not have to think.
I did think about it a lot. But
Yeah. So Alexis's first show was the first Holiday Rock show. The first, was it? That was the first Holiday Rock show, am I right? Yes. That was a short, well, actually, that idea was short-lived, but way too long
Epic shows.
Yeah, we did it. We tried it 3 times, and
15 songs.
each time made me hate the holidays more. Um, Alexis came in very well trained in choral singing and completely untrained in rock singing. But she seemed to know what she was doing. Her first show, I was like, "You seem pretty smart and you can sing. Why don't you play bass on this song?" She was like, "I don't play bass." I was like, "Sure you do. Here, let me put it on. I'll show you what to do." And I made her play bass, and she did fine. Well, good enough for holiday rock. I mean, so actually, I'm gonna save that one for a minute. Alexis's first show team gig was at the Lincoln Tap. Yeah. So the first song, the Lincoln Tap's very small if you've never been there, and their PA was like tiny. And her first song, which was maybe like the 3rd song in the set or something, which I used to love to do because it would be like, good song. I am going to unleash Alexis singing Time on you people right now. That was always like my plan. It was like, get him to be impressed. Deal with this. So it was probably like the 3rd song in the set, and then and she starts singing, and I'm over by the sound guy, and he's like, "I don't have her in the house anymore." He like just took her out of the mains, not because she wasn't singing well, because he didn't need the speakers. True story, actually. That one is 100% true. I embellish sometimes, but that one's true. Huh?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have told you. You might start thinking you were good or something. You might start to get an attitude. And then recently, I made Alexis sing a G sharp that's an octave above the G sharp that's above middle C in a show. And I would have never done that to an ordinary student. It's a song by Steelheart. I think it's like one of the highest recorded rock song notes that exist. It is like, it's right up, I mean, that's incredibly high. Don't sing it for us right now. But her range is ridiculous. Alexis's range is, I mean, that's octaves and octaves. And she did it. And not only did you do it, but like your preparation for doing that, like you took that seriously. You like warmed up. We talked about where we were going to put it in the set so that your voice, could warm up to get there. That's pro stuff,
It took me like 3 months, guys. No joke.
Yeah. It was amazing. And it's sometimes people who think they know everything don't realize how good they're getting. That was an underhanded. You got it. I thought that one would go over bigger.
It went over my head.
Yeah. No, but you may not have realized it, but I remember that holiday rock and being like, this girl can sing, but she's so, you were so like pure toned and vibrato heavy, like choir singing, right? In like the top of your range, And I know how hard you work to become a like rock singer who can completely dominate a stage, And that was on display here. That try, I mean, that was off the hook, wasn't it? It's tough. There's very few songs where I'm like, that one's the closer till this person leaves. We're closing with that one. And then retiring songs, right? I retire songs sometimes. Well, I probably don't need to hear anyone else sing "Try" for the rest of my time. So Alexis is also extremely well organized, as some of you may know. Extremely. They invented the word extremely to describe how well organized Alexis is. Yes. She spends more time thinking about set lists than I do. I just like, okay, I got to get this done. She's like, why did you put this here because of how the moon is like up in like it's like a new moon, and then it's a Wednesday, and this person's gonna be late to the gig, so it's like it all worked out so that, and it's like, no, I just like wrote them down as fast as I could. Try to make sure everybody had enough songs. And Alexis is also smart as a whip. We recently had a conversation about like all kinds of weird science stuff, and we learned why people who don't have the Rh negative enzyme are the Anunnaki from outer space who built the first pyramids. Yeah. You have to ask Alexis about it sometimes. It's an incredible scientific theory.
That's an overgeneralization, but
We'll look forward to reading about it in our letters. But seriously, as far as hard work and constant drive to improve, and also just like, I don't want to say team player. No, I'm just kidding. Being an ambassador for School of Rock and being part of the family. The song she picked was on the family, yeah. And that's like she said, that wasn't an accident. That's how she feels about this place, and that's how we feel about you. And how it's been like 4 years, 5 years. 2013, we said, right? Was that Holiday Rock show?
Yeah, but I did the camp like the summer before with Claire's. Sorry, Cam, I know. Yes. No, we were in it together. Oh. And you did I did Flag. Yeah, by Harvey Danger and Wonderwall by Oasis. Oh no.
She knows she has notes from show team gigs from like 3 years ago. If you ever want to hear, we were talking about it. She goes, it might be important for someone to know why, what could be improved on Bad Time from the Oriole Park gig in 2015. That might be necessary someday. She has them all in a giant book.
Claire said to Esme, it wasn't just like good times, bad times, it was just bad times.
She's got them all. Almost committed to memory. But just in case she forgets, she has a giant book too.
Oh yeah, I have a binder, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, her binder has songs I don't even remember us ever doing. It's like, we did this song? She was like, yeah, it was.
Yeah, Walk Away by the James Gang.
Walk Away by, oh yeah, that's what it was. That was what we were saying. So she also can, it's like she subs in on all that stuff. It's like, I could pull out Walk Away right now, and if the band could play it, she could sing it. She was never even cast on that one. Much to her disappointment, right? Because you want all the songs. And that's good. That's the kind of people we want at School of Rock. We want people who want all the songs. All right. But an amazing human being. Where are you going to school? Tell everybody.
I'm going to Carleton College. It's in Minnesota, and yes, I will be cold before you say it will be cold. I'm gonna hopefully study geology, and I'd like to minor in vocal performance. I'd like to.
Cool. An amazing person. The school would not be the same without you. And thank you, because I know any gig Alexis is on is gonna be a good one. I'm always just like, oh yeah, we can do something here. So Yep. Everybody, Alexis Waters. Yeah. All right, last victim. Then we get back to, they got about 3 songs left, so we should be fine on time. Racky, everybody calls him Racky because they don't know whether to call him Alex or whether to call him Graham. It's been a conundrum. I knew this dude as Alex for a long time. I'm trying to call him Graham because I think even though he won't say that's what he wants, I think that's what he wants. It sounds more adult. And I'm trying, but it's hard for us old timers to keep up with change that fast. Graham was my student for ages. He predates me having a School of Rock email. I look back at my email stuff and it was like, oh yeah, he's out of 101. He, 2011 maybe, 2012, 2010. He's, like I said, I can't even look at my email to see when it was. We have had some great times in the lesson room. Great times. I had to give up my Thursdays, weird Thursdays. I can't remember if it was 5 or 5:45, but it was one of those two. I had to give up my Thursdays, and that was like tragic. I was like, man, but Racky, you know. Actually, I said but Alex, because the Graham thing hadn't started yet at that point. But our lessons weren't just about learning guitar, because this guy has rock and roll in his bones, and he is a huge fan of rock and roll stories, and we would like tell each other rock and roll stories. Like you like read a lot, and he likes reading like rock and roll biographies and stuff, but so do I. And we would talk about bands, and we would like talk about I always call them old man stories. You know, I tell a lot of old man stories, as you guys know, in rehearsal, and that's what we would do. We would like tell old man stories to each other, and learn guitar. He would tell me about the Verve, because the Verve is like his favorite band, and he knows them.
It's actually the Verve Pipe.
The Verve Pipe, sorry. The Verve Pipe. I always mess it up, I know. I even asked you like 2 weeks ago which one it was. Your first show was Neil Young. Yep. I remember giving this guy, he was only about this tall then, and I bought some fake pork chop sideburns and gave it to him for Mr. Soul. And then AC/DC, you were in. We gotta talk about this, because there's a great video. If you're like bored one day and you're thinking back and you're like, man, I wonder what Racky's up to. Go YouTube search this AC/DC video, and it was raw. I don't know what song it is, but it was pretty raw. Highway to Hell, that's right. I erased it from my brain, but now I remember. This dude on Highway to Hell singing and playing guitar, and singing and playing guitar. No, but the thing with that video though is that you could tell that you were rock and roll in your bones in that video. Yeah, Chris knows what I'm talking about. The video, it just emanates rock and roll. There's bands who try to do that, you know, who can't, who they can't put forth that energy. And there's plenty of bands who sound that bad too. Don't worry about it. All right, so what else? So I'm a huge fan of the band Cracker, and I've tried to get this guy to sing Cracker and Camper Van Beethoven songs anytime I can, because I think he sounds a lot like David Lowery, who's their lead singer. And I appreciate you over the years being uncomplaining about that. Because you must have noticed by now that I keep giving you those songs every couple years. did pictures of Magic Man. And then in the Novelty Rock show, I loaded you up on that stuff. Novelty Rock. Yeah, yep. Novelty Rock was like a harebrained idea. But you made it work, and you made it work. There were the people who signed up for that show were into it. That was what made it work.
You ate the sloppy Joe on stage, right? Except you brought way too much on stage. You spent like 5 minutes trying to finish before you could say it.
Keep the song going. I'm almost done. I need some water. Graham is probably most well known throughout the years for his cringe-inducing introductions to songs and shows, which I can only ascribe to him being young when Jason Krause was still a student in the school. He was young and impressionable, and but yeah, this is my Graham Radke impersonation. Kind of smells in here. Kind of smells like Teen Spirit. Let's go. Oh yeah, I needed the shades. Yeah, he never met a pun he didn't like. But that aside, Graham is actually a very talented songwriter. Did the songwriting program for a while. He's a good songwriter. I hope you keep writing. I hope you still are writing, and I hope you keep writing. Because that's where it's at. And when you have rock and roll in your bones, you have to express that. You know, there's some people who enjoy, and I know you like playing covers, but there's some people who enjoy playing harder and harder covers, and there's some people who enjoy playing music that they like and have the ability to synthesize that into their own ideas. You know, and you have that. You know, so I hope that you keep writing whatever you do, even if you don't put a band together. When you're in college, write songs for yourself. Write them for yourself. You don't have to show them to anybody, but you can. You know, but keep doing it because you're very good at it. So since this was a super fun show because I kind of lost touch with this dude because I haven't directed shows that you've been in for a number of seasons, quite a few seasons, and we didn't do the lessons anymore. And I would see you around sometimes, you know, we would catch up briefly, but this was a very fun experience doing this because we got to spend time in rehearsal again and you know, hang out a little bit. And I miss that because that was always a highlight of my week, teaching you guitar. Yeah. So tell everybody where you're going to school.
I too am also going to the University of Michigan.
Cue Akasha being psyched about stuff. What are you going to study?
Unlike Akasha, I'm actually staying in engineering purposely. I'm going in for electrical engineering.
What kind? Cool. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that probably people don't know about Graham is that he builds robots and is amazingly smart and technically capable. I told you this was a smart crew. So everybody give it up for Graham Radke. Okay, we're gonna get to playing, I promise. I just want to tell you guys, as a group, a couple things. You know, you still have this isn't the last gig, this isn't like the last day or anything, right? You're still gonna be around school for a little while, but I know it's you know, a little scary, this time in your life is full of uncertainty, right? Because you know where you're going, but you don't know what it's going to be like, and you don't know. And now, you know, you're kind of on your own. You're about to be adults and all that. But you guys have an advantage over a lot of people because you guys know what hard work and discipline and preparedness and teamwork and confidence, right? You guys know what that's all about. You guys have been, in the all world. You have come up on the stage or on stages and crushed it, and you have had things go sideways and have to deal with it and figure it out on the fly. Even you. And you guys have that ability, right? So, that gives you an advantage over a lot of people. When you go out into the world, you're going to find that maybe you are more prepared than some people that you run into. Maybe you are willing to work harder and you are able to focus more because of this experience, because of learning music and doing this thing. So you have to go out there and you have to be leaders, right? Because that's what this world needs, and people need leaders who are capable and smart. And you guys are those things. You guys are all capable and smart. I would encourage you to, like when you're in school, like join clubs, meet people. Not just you specifically. Everyone, this is for everyone. I'm looking at all of them. You just only notice when I look at you. Meet people, register to vote. Make sure you register to vote. Be a part of the world, right? So there's this world waiting for you to join it and improve it, and it needs you. So be a part of it. Be a part of something bigger than yourself. That's what all this is. And I know you guys have heard me say that a lot about bands and stuff, but a band is just one example of being a part of something bigger than yourself. There are many ways you can do it, but you have to do it. It's a great feeling, and it is unbelievably rewarding to be a part of something bigger than yourself, and to be a leader in it. So I also just want to thank you guys for you're the reason Chicago School of Rock is what it is. You guys have made this school. I don't know if you quite understand. Maybe you will someday. But your influence on the school has been incredible, and it is what it is because of you guys. Y'all have inspired me, and I think I speak for the whole staff when I say that over the years, y'all have inspired me incredibly, and I thank you, and I appreciate it. And give it up for the seniors, everybody. Drum set time's over. Now we're going to watch them all embarrass themselves terribly.
Okay, glad that's over.
Check. happen to love the band a whole bunch. And we did the Pearl Jam show together here. Yes, Allie, Jack, you were in that one. We have a bunch of people. It was great. So this one, it's called State of Love and Trust. And Eddie Vedder, do you want to share the fun fact, Graham?
So, for those of you who don't know, this song was actually written and included in the soundtrack for the movie Singles, a hit 90s movie that everyone remembers for anything besides the soundtrack. Eddie Vedder actually wrote this song after watching the movie and decided that this is what he thought the movie meant instead of what the director or anyone else thought. It's Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, he's pretty great. He's one of my favorite vocalists, so enjoy this one. Can we
Everyone knows this song.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba.